on, y'all? It's J Smo Reviews here, back at it again with another video, man. Bringing you guys kind of like a breaking news predictions here, right? Full card just dropped for the Trenches anniversary card, which, there was some rumblings that there was some good cards coming in August, and obviously here we have a couple huge battles on this card we're going to talk about. Eazy the Block Captain versus Ill Will, and then Hollow to Dom versus Av. That first row right there, spending money to watch that first row right there. And then some other top tiers here, Verb and Sirius, and a couple other battles. So, hey, listen, man. Trenches is back outside with this is their most complete card yet. For the most part, I like the matchup, still putting on the homegrown talent, which I have to say, and I'll keep saying, I'm overly impressed with how the development system has been. There was a point where Trenches were saying they were the best league in Philly, right? And Eazy was talking, but they did not have their own roster. There was a common critique. They had no roster at the time, and now they have a few talents here that I'm going to talk about real quick, and even one here on the main card, two here on the main card actually, that both have really been making a name for themselves. Even with just a few battles, they made some waves, so I got to give credit there. But without further ado, we're going to look at the fine print battles and then the main card. So here at the first line of the card, really first 5 battles here is all Trenches-based talent, right? So we'll go through them pretty quick for those not familiar. Dre Majesty versus Baby James were both in the first round of the Trenches tourney, but Dre Majesty had one of the better battles of the first round with Jay Moore. Just was a losing effort against probably just a little bit of a better talent prospect at this point. But I got Dre Majesty winning that clear. I think he's got a lot more potential. Bo the Great versus Sko. Hey, old-time fans know Sko. You know what I'm saying? From way back. PG, he's actually been on a Gnome before too. How about that? He was on Gnome 2 versus KP. Little fun fact. So Sko's here getting a look. Obviously, he's got his city. You know what I'm saying? Easy's man's. And then you got Bo the Great, Memphis rapper. I think he got out the first round. I think he made it out and he lost in the second round. I could be wrong. But this is about Bo seeing if he's still worth rebooking, if he's going to be consistent. So I got Sko winning off experience and home game factor. But if Bo shows he's got a higher level, then it'd be cool to see. And then the finals for the tournament itself, which is King versus Z, the Dropout. And King is going to win the money. King is going to win in probably dramatic 3-0 fashion. Just a better talent, has snatched way more attention, better battles. Hey, Z did his thing. He made it through some contested battles out of his side of the bracket to a finals. There's consistency in that, But King is just he's this ultra, this primal aggressive version of Saint. You know what I'm saying? A lot of similarities, just that back-to-back punching non-stop, relentless, and maybe versus some experienced opponents with more of an all-around game, ways to diffuse things, just showing different elements of the game at a high level. That's when he'll have issues. But as of now, his battle with Jay Moore has been the best of the tourney, and he's chaining together haymakers. He's writing his heart out, so he's going to do that here and win this battle. And then you get to the main card, even though we got 2 more battles here before you get to maybe those top-tier selling names, right? Zan versus Seabree the Lyricist, the ladies' representation of the card. And I'll tell you what, I doubted Zan versus Chirac. She won that battle, right? Big part Chirac wasn't clean. And Seabree has not been clean either. And she's another one that I think is an all-around talent. Probably is a little more all-around than Zan. Bars, performance, delivery, just kind of the crispness of it. I feel like Seabree has a higher ceiling. However, she's been choking. She's been fucking up, right? And Zan has her issues here and there, which is why I doubted her versus Chirac. But you clean that up a good little bit. She's got her pocket. She's going to hit that disrespect. And she's got some peak haymakers she gets to every battle. You combine that together with it's going to be a home game. I got to go with Zan in this one. Edging her the battle, really giving her the battle 2-1. It could be a 3-0, really, because I just have a feeling that I don't know if this is the one where Seabree gets it all back together versus an opponent who's getting momentum on the road. And then the last one here, really highlighting that new talent, I guess would be kind of like a King of the Trenches battle in a sense, because both of these guys have tried to claim that title, and that is Riggs versus Tex Sago. And Tex is up there with King and Jay Moore for best of this new Trenches crop of talent. There's people think that he beat Jay Moore. A lot of people think that. You know what I'm saying? I personally had Jay Moore winning that battle, and he won a judge, but a lot of people had Tex. There's a good argument for it. He was great in that battle. And now you get Riggs here. I think gritty-wise, in terms of their delivery, they can match up. I don't want to say they rap similar because they don't, but they have similarities in terms of just their delivery and aggressiveness in a battle. And then on top of that, they both rap really well. I think Riggs, you would give the advantage wordplay-wise in a sense, right? Pen-wise, although I think sometimes The pen, it's not always the most like super layered. Sometimes he does like spelling out words things. There's parts of the writing style I don't always love about Riggs' style. I feel like it cost him the battle over Snake Eyes, but he's done really good in the trenches so far. I think this battle has potential to be similar to like a Riggs K Walker situation, maybe even a bit better because Tex has got to have even more hunger as like a pure trenches talent. Like no small leagues before. Like respect Jay Moore, he's got a lot of history before trenches, right? Tex and King, like these guys really, my first time seeing them are on the trenches. I don't even know if they had little league battles before. So with that being said, that's kind of, I got Tex, I believe I said the prediction already, but I do have Tex winning the battle just because of that hunger. I think he's got a unique style, and I think that unique sound sometimes, even put up against a vet who knows a little bit more, you can just snatch more of the attention by being a breath of fresh air. And that's why I got him winning the battle going in, and might even be sneakily up there with King, Tex and King, I'm going to keep saying it, up there with the better performances of the trenches roster cats. And then from there, we got the 3 top tier battles. So we got Verb versus Sirius here, and I'm not going to like lie to you. Like, I enjoy this battle. I'm not the biggest fan of the matchup on paper. It would have been a super, like, headliner match, you know what I'm saying, like, '09. Like, it would have been like, holy shit, we got juggernauts going after it. But I do think these are 2 guys, while I think overhated on at times. Like, for instance, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't got Verb winning his last 5 battles. I've reviewed them, you know what I'm saying, they're on my channel. I think even going back to the Suge battle. But I think he's good in some of these battles. Like, I got him losing to Suge. I thought he was good for Suge, though. I think him and Ward is genuinely debatable. Granted, I have a Ward, but I could really see a case for Verb, particularly in the second and the third. He lost to Swamp. He was okay. It wasn't the greatest look. He was good versus Will, and I had him. So my point is like, even though I got him losing, these are good performances. Like, you take the win-loss away, he's been good. And if I just look at Sirius's last couple since his return, I can't say the footage. You know what I'm saying? Like, him and Geechee... And Geechee was like freestyling, having fun, and like killed some, like made it like theatrical. You know what I'm saying? And then with Rock, he just lost, and really the weakest Rock we've probably gotten this year. And I just didn't think that Sirius matched up to him like that. And Sirius is someone throughout his career, he has been a winner. Like, even if the footage hasn't been great, as people say, he usually is able to make a battle close enough. Kind of just has the same skill that someone that, like a John Dadon at times, or even a Hollow Dadon, who we'll talk about here in a little bit. Even if it's not their craziest battle, I feel like he's just always known how to make it close, and that hasn't worked the last 2 times. And my thing is, in this trenches environment, with neither of them being the craziest, like, wordplay wise, they're not doing any punches or anything like that that's blowing us away. And then on top of that, they're both like, they both can angle, obviously, but you haven't seen it heavily like done great. So all the possibilities are 50-50 on either side. For me, trenches, pit style, I'm assuming this is going to come down to just rapping, like pure rapping, whose delivery gets off better. And man, I just think that Verb is a better pure rapper. I got to give him that. That's always been elite. Even when I kill the content, battle to battle, right? The rapping itself is always fantastic. Not that Sirius isn't good too, but I really just believe in what Verb does. The rapper here reminds me a lot of the Head Ice A-Verb matchup a little bit, and that was probably for many the last time that A-Verb clearly won a battle. I mean, he 30 Ice in that battle, in my opinion. So right here, I don't know if it'll go that exact same way, but if I had to predict, I do have Verb winning this battle going in, and then it gets special. It gets serious. Hollow Dadon versus Av. Thank you, man. Thank you. This one counts. This is a legacy battle for Av. Complete legacy battle, you know what I'm saying? One of the best battles Hollow can take, and he's been active. He was active last year. He's been pretty active, it looks like, so far this year. But out of all the options that are out there, and there's some good options, he had some good battles, you know what I'm saying? This is going to be the best one. I think this can be better than Hollow and Will was. And obviously how great that battle ended up being as a main event for RBE. Because they've talked. Like, they went back and forth. This is sold. This is not one where it's just Av getting a shot because we want to see him versus a bigger battler. He's really went at Hollow for years. They've been going at it 2 or 3 years now. You know what I'm saying? Hollow called him out on stage versus Geechee, talking about he didn't care if Av died when he was in the hospital. Like, they even went disrespectful with it sometimes, too, even though I know that there's respect there between the competitors, just seeing the way they've interacted. But the way their styles pit up against each other, too. I mean, you got Av, who, although he's an all-around talent now, more than he gets credit for, he's a puncher, right? Like, that's what he's categorized as. That's what he does best and has got him here. Versus the guy who in theory is the jack of all trades, right? Can go into all the different skill sets and has seen all the great punchers for a lot of the great punchers, at least. I don't want to say he definitely hasn't seen all the great punchers, but has seen great punchers throughout his history in the game. And I'm sure that I'll talk about this battle so much more in detail and what matches up here and what specific angles. Like I might even do a video similar I did to like Lux and Nitty talk about keys to victory because I love this battle that much. But looking at it initially, because I've talked about it for a minute, I got Av winning this battle 2-1. I think pit style is great for the footage, but I don't think it's like a super advantage either way for them because I think they're capable of both going big stage, small stage with it. And whatever, if you feel like the all-around abilities of Hollow can just kind of flat out, like if you believe in that over a puncher just inherently, like you just think anytime an all-around guy of this nature battles a puncher, legacy battle, I'm not mad at you, but I think this is the one for Av. This is, even though the Rock battle, SM Headliner, very good for the legacy, very good battle. A lot of people had him winning. But this is the one you're going to win this one. Even if it's on the smaller league, it just matters different. Because at the end of the day, Hollow did not still a god-tier battle rapper. It's not 2016 where he's probably in that same convo with Lux and Mook and you earn your way all the way up to that. He's a little more active. He just went about it a little more different. But it's still a god-tier look. It's a legacy look for Av, similar to how a JC and Surf battle was. You know what I'm saying? In a sense. And I expect him to take full advantage of the moment. He said he hasn't been in 100% until he gets an opponent that's worth it. And brother, this is an opponent that's worth it. I cannot wait to see it. Battle of the night. One of the better battles of the year, and it has the rest of this card could be blank, and I would have bought the pay-per-view for Hollow versus Av. And that leaves you with the main event of the night, which is a major battle in its own right, which is Eazy the Block Captain versus Ill Will. And this one, listen, for not only Ill Will is a difficult matchup in general, right? And especially in big matches. We look at the last 5 to 6 years, Ill Will versus Daylight. Ill Will versus Calico, even though, 6 years ago. Ill Will versus Hollow. Ill Will versus Verb. Ill Will versus Hitman. When it's like a big battle situation, big stage performative, Pit with the all-around game, being able to punch with someone and be unorthodox, Ill Will can do all of that, and he's at his best in the best moments. That already makes him one of the most dangerous matchups in battle rap. And then you look at Eazy's situation, coming off the historic streak, he's the 3-battle losing streak. And the Clips loss, many thought he was, including myself, thought he was kind of cherry picking that win going in, and then the whole situation's flipped on him. And it's a good Clips, but that battle wasn't an unbeatable, prime. We know Clips at his 100% when he's just got the whole room in the palm of his hands. He did good, 8 out of 10, but a big part of that was Eazy choking and kind of mistakes on his own behalf that could have at least made the battle debatable. And granted, condolences again, losing his mother around that time, which we're only a couple months removed from that. A lot of people understandably would have taken a full break. So you got to think he's just got a lot going on in life right now, which with battlers almost always is going to leak into the work because how could it not, right? So that's going on, the losing streak, what's going on in life, and then on top of that, how challenging Ill Will is. And then in Philly, it hasn't been the easiest, right? He starts out with the Big T and Reed wins, and then turns around the Geechee battle. It's South Jersey. Basically fucking Philly. You feel what I'm saying? So then he's got that. And then over here, the last battle was John. And then many people had John winning. Granted, he was really good in that. And that type of performance here, I think, is what he needs. One would say even something a little bit better. Obviously, I'm going to say at every Eazy battle going forward, the man was counter-writing at such an elite rate. With any little angle that could get used on him, he was turning into like the best at that. Like pre-writing and strategic writing. And he's so great at that. And ever since the many of angles that have came out on him over his last few battles, obviously he's not going to, if he could or was going to do a direct response, he would have done that already. But there has to be a little bit of something because the shit just keeps landing. And as the losing streak is snowballed, the effectiveness of it, and people kind of like, it's like seeing someone with like a 3-0 lead, give it away. You start to like look a little bit more. People, the noise gets a little bit louder, and at some point, you got to put an end to that noise. And listen, Eazy the Block Captain has all the capabilities, not just to have a great battle with Ill Will, to beat Ill Will. So it's not easy to make these predictions by any means, but with how the trajectory of things have gone for him and just how much I believe in Ill Will in big battle scenarios, I got to go Ill Will 2-1 in this one. And another great battle of the night. But even with the possibility of being clear, if we don't see a drastically different Eazy in this battle quality wise, and that overall is my these initial predictions of the Trenches card. I want to hear your guys' opinions now. I mean, really anything, particularly with these top two battles, really even Hollow and Av. I want to hear what everyone has to say about Hollow and Av. But Eazy and Will, are you a fan of Urban Sirius? And what out of these young talents, which ones do you think will be one of the stand out the most and be one of the talks of the card up here with some of the bigger level battle rap going on? Like I said, best Trenches card on paper so far. I'm gonna do all types of analysis, probably other stuff about some of these battles going forward. But until then, I just want to hear y'all's opinion and chop it up with me, man. So like, comment, subscribe. It's been J Smo Reviews again, y'all. I'm gonna catch you on the next one, man. Peace.